Hi, everybody. This is James from Prague. How are you on this lovely July 19th, 2021? Cancerian. It's my best friend's birthday today. She turns 80 years old. 80 years old. So happy birthday, Marianne. And anyone else's birthdays out there. I hope you're having a good summer so far. And things are up, down, all around. Usual transformational time. And lots of changes, quick changes. I bet you've noticed sudden changes happening. I've had a lot of people ask me about that, and I referred to Kelly White because she knows much more about astrology than I do. And people have also asked about my Mediumship 2 class because that's what's out there right now. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today because we've had several emails and Facebook posts from people, questions about the actual course. So I thought I would share with you what the course is about fully. And general questions you would have about mediumship, not like, hi, how's my Aunt Ida? I'm not doing personal today. Tonight I am, though. So tonight at 6 o'clock on Both Sides Down Beyond, I'll be joined with Kelly White, and we will be giving readings tonight. So it's the first time we've done that since the show started. And we're going to do psychic readings, mediumship readings, whatever you want. Will be tonight, 6 o'clock to 7. So please join us tonight for that. So welcome, everybody. I wanted to start with Mediumship 2 at our first phone call, and there were several messages, several people interested in the same type of thing, the same question. So again, here it is here. I'm going to address it. We're still open for Mediumship 2 students. We will close it probably in a couple of weeks. So make sure you get in if you'd like to. You can't come in. If it's closed, it's closed. We do payment plans, by the way. People have had some issues about that. So I'm here to help you. So we've created payment plans, the easiest way to do this. So what is Mediumship 2 different from Mediumship 1? Well, the first thing I want to say, which I tell all my students, as mediums, we're always learning. And it doesn't matter if you go back for preliminary groundwork, you take a class by another new medium or new studies. It's always good to sharpen the tool, if I can tell you that. So in this Mediumship 2, I've taken what people have learned in Mediumship 1, the basic grounding work, realizing about energy, becoming aware of the connection with the spirit world, how to make that connection, how to be in your own power. And in Mediumship 2, I bring it one step further, well, several steps further. I wrote it down what I have here, just remember. So the first thing is going to be more hands-on coaching. And that is, I will get on Zoom calls and talk to you about that in groups, not just one-on-ones. I wouldn't have time to live. So I do that with groups, but very intensive. If you don't know me as a teacher, I can say so, I'm a pretty good teacher. I'm very passionate about mediumship. I'm passionate about getting it right because there's a lot of mediocre mediums out there. People call themselves mediums and they're not. They're psychics. And the art of mediumship that I know of, the old art of mediumship, the old ways and techniques are getting somewhat lost with this very quick societal vibration, just frequency, and people's patience being questioned, right? So I do it kind of the old-fashioned way, but one step at a time. And we work together in development circles, which are a very important, very, very, very important part of developing as a medium, sitting once a week with a circle that I put together for you, 4 or 5 people, and you meet the same time every week, the same space. And we do that for a reason. We do that because it's really, you add an invitation to the spirit world. They know that at a time you will be together and they prepare for the next week. So they're preparing for your development circle, as you should be. So go through that a lot in 2. And many mediums who have come out of Mediumship 2 course said the best part of it was the development circles. They never thought about that. And the insights that they gained from that was quite incredible. They said, very profound. And I agree. I sat in development circle for over 7 years. I would sit every Tuesday night between about 7 o'clock to about 9:30, 9 o'clock. It depends when the power starts dropping down. And it was the best way to develop. I'll say that right now, because in the development circle, you become aware of your soul self. And mediumship is really a development of your soul. It's not just talking to dead people. That's a byproduct. It really is a byproduct. Mediumship is development and expansion of your soul. And as you expand your soul self, that's why you're able to pick up other frequencies of souls around you. And you work at the technique of picking up, if you will, telepathic thoughts of spirit people who might come and send you telepathically a message via a visual you'll see, a thought you'll hear, a feeling you'll receive, a taste you might have, a knowingness you have. And it's very in depth about what each one means, different type of telepathic reception. Very different than psychic work, of course. I differentiate very much between the psychic and the medium, very different things. I also share with you advanced techniques as far as going to the spirit world, working with the spirit, almost by bringing your mind to that space. Today, I'll do an exercise at the end of today's SoulCARE. I'm going to do a small technique that I do that you will, it is in the course, but it's going to be a little bit different here. But it'll give you an idea of how I work with Mediumship 2 students. There's so much to learn, my friends. Gosh, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And I was just telling somebody yesterday, because she didn't know anything about my school. And I told her about it. She said, wow. And I showed her the computer and showed it to her. And she said, wow, this is in depth. I said, yeah. Why do you do something half-assed? You don't. I don't. I want to give it my all. So 64 videos in this course. They're very good. Also, the one thing which I didn't realize when putting together the school and Mediumship 2, mostly because it happens quite a bit where there's a community. You become very involved with the people in your community and become lifetime friends for many of them. And it goes on way beyond the course. It goes on years. I've had friends for years of friendships going on because of Mediumship 2. Because remember, you're with people of like mind, like same interests. And it's great to be that way with somebody like that, because there aren't many of us around who do this and can talk about it, have fun with it, and understand it, right? I like to be with people who understand things. I also, at the end of the Mediumship 2 course, I'm going to do a live workshop, which you're all invited to go to, a 2-day workshop live. But now that COVID is done. And my first mediumship in person, by the way, is October 1st here in San Diego. And in Spirit Center, I'm doing that. I miss really working with people in a physical way. Now, for lesson 1 in Mediumship 2, this is what the first lesson is, opening to spirit in a whole new way. So some people might have a certain way they talk to spirit or think they're in touch with spirit. And sometimes it's just very psychic. And they snatch and grab instead of just letting spirit come into them, with them, surrender to them. So the first lesson I have, to be the best medium possible, you must consistently work on your foundation. It's all about foundation. For this reason, you'll delve right into your apprentice training by mastering state-of-the-art techniques for strengthening your channel to spirit, and specifically learn to open up to spirits more clearly. A lot of people have problems. I have 3 or 4 spirits. I don't know which one I should go in, or I can't go to sleep at night because all these people around me, spirits around me, or I'm walking down the street, all of a sudden someone comes to me, or I'm with a friend, all of a sudden someone comes to her. How do you control that? Because you have to control that. That's the responsibility of a medium, when to know when to open up and when to close down. It's not always safe to open up just in random public. It's really not. You've got to learn a technique to open up the chakra points and run your energy, very much like a radio, right? Turning on the radio and tuning into the station. That's what development of mediumship is, tuning into that station. New key ways your own soul is used by the spirit world and how they work with you to fully form a contact. So it's a whole different communication, how the spirit world works with what you have, what your soul makeup is. They use, if you will, they use your life experiences with the spirit person. And they bring the spirit person that's going to speak a week before the appointment, if you will, a couple of days. And they have them look at the medium's auric field. And they see all of the experiences and memories that this medium had. And that spirit will say, I'm going to use that. Oh, they had a library. I'm going to talk about a book. Or, oh, they just repaired their door. I'll talk about that. Oh, they have my picture on a table. I'll talk about that. So they do that. And you kind of open up your mind in a way to connect with that spirit. It's really interesting. The way I work with them now, which I share on Mediumship 2, is you kind of give over your space and your mind. And you open that up and you invite them into that space to gain whatever comfort and stillness that they need. They might be nervous. First time they've done this, they don't know if it's going to work or not. So you're giving them some confidence. And we talk about that in Mediumship 2. Also, some little very little known. I came up with some of these, Spirit gave me some of these mind focus exercises that expand your mediumship abilities in a whole new way. So that's going to be interesting. And also how to be physically aware when you're in the power and able to open up to spirit, and when to close down, when the power has depleted. It's very, very important in mediumship to know how to bring that power up, that power of love and effervescence that they use to come through. They use that loving energy and the love they have for the recipient to be able to come through. When that energy is dropping because they've used it, it's time to close the session And the medium has to know when that is, because you do not want to continue with you, just like driving a car. You cannot drive a car if there's no gas. Same thing with mediumship. You have to have the energy, power. Okay, so that's mediumship 2. Please go on to the JP there, right there, JP School of Mystical Arts. There's our link right there. And please join me if you'd like to. If you feel pulled to the course, I'd love to have you. Again, with payment plans, if that's a concern of yours. But check it out. If you're not interested in buying it, just go and read. Go to the school and read all the different courses. I did it this weekend. I was like, I forgot I had that one. Wow, that's great. Wow, that's great. Oh, it's mine. It's funny. All right, we're going to do some questions about mediumship 2. If anybody would have questions, I will answer them. Thank you, Renee, for putting all these links up. I appreciate that. Deborah, okay, what we're going to do is any questions about mediumship 2, first of all. That would be the first thing, so we're discussing that. Chances of a reading tonight, Julie, your chances are as good as anyone else's. But you shouldn't come tonight for a reading. If you come to me, then you're closing yourself down. See, a lot of people don't know that, but you have to open up your mind, invite the spirit, and then open up that space for them. And if the medium, myself or Kelly, picks up on that spirit, then if the spirit guides, our guides work with us and bring them forward, we'll give you a reading. That's how it works. We never pick people. It's just who can connect best with the medium, I think. Happy birthday. Thanks, Joanne Wilson. It's not one more month away, but thank you. Okay, question. How do you know when it's not just your ego speaking to you? Well, in mediumship 2, we learn to discernment. You discern between what your soul is made up of and what's in the head. And we do a lot of exercises. I call them head to heart. Because when you're in your head, you're in your ego, and you give no room for spirit to work. When you're in your heart, you give them all that love, expansion, energy to work from, and you feel the love. That's why I do mediumship. You feel the love. That's why I got into it. I give a great job at Paramount, a very well-paying job to do mediumship because I had that feeling of love in my heart, and that was the greatest feeling. So you learn to go from your head to your heart. That's how you get out of the discernment between knowing it's your own stuff or spirit. Okay, Melissa Murray, can you have a mediumship experience happen once and not be medium? Yes, Melissa, of course you can. The reason why is because, remember, you're a soul incarnate. They're a soul discarnate, which means you're a soul encased in this body, this flesh, in a box. They're outside the box. But you're still a soul, and they're a soul. So they'll send your soul, your higher self. Because remember, 40% of your body, their soul is here. 60% is out, or even more of that. 80% is out here, only 20% here. So they'll reach your soul that way. So it does happen. Good. Ishla, I'm not going to destroy the last names because I know what that's like. I've had that happen to me. Are there any character traits or skills that you recommend someone have before pursuing training in mediumship? That's a great question, Ashley. Great question. Number one, service, a service of humankind, helping humankind to be better, to demonstrate love and healing in mediumship. And I would think that an interest in life after death, the healing aspects of life after death, how to help somebody. We can serve in many ways. Many people are therapists, psychologists, doctors, nurses, bakers, accountants. There's all different ways of serving humans. Yeah, I find for me, and it's up to each individual soul, that this works at the core of the matter because it's soul to soul. For me, that and it can change the world, which it has. You know, when you realize there is no such thing as death, you really begin to live life fully because you have nothing to be afraid of. There's no fear. Once you realize there's no death, the fear goes away. And there really should be no fear in life. It's just the ego. F-E-A-R, false ego appearing real, right? All there is love or fear. And life is made up of a series of choices. The choice to either love or fear. Okay. Lynn the Magnificent. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, love. I like that, but I think I can come up with a better one. Lynn the Magnificent. Let's see, Lynn the... I like to have an L with your name to match it. Alliteration. It's a writer in me. Question. I'm a new medium. How many readings do you recommend a day? Now, when you say you're a new medium, I would just be how many readings, where have you developed from? Where did you go to school? How long were you in school? Who did you learn from? What's your best part of mediumship? Just starting off, wow, I would just say maybe 1 to 2 a day. That would be it. And I'd still be in development circles. I'd still be taking classes because you're very young, so you still need some work. Okay, good. Next question. James, do you work on evidence-based mediumship? Lisa Broomfield, that's all I do. All I do is evidence-based. I don't do anything else. I'm a survival evidence medium. That's my title. And what that is, for those who don't know what that is the medium responsibility to bring through evidential details, names, places, events, memories that only the recipient would know and the spirit would know. And that's proof of life after death, that consciousness survives death. And I've had so many different details as far as, I mean, I can't remember so many, hundreds of thousands. This weekend, my friend Cindy was visiting me, and she'd been to many of my shows, and she talked about some of the readings, which I didn't remember what was going on. But let's see what she said, that the ones that get her, which I love, the spirit will come through and say, you have a piece of jewelry or a watch or some article, and the person says, no. And then the spirit will take my mind and show me clairvoyantly where it is. So I've gone up many steps. I've been through many houses. I said, go to the back room to the left. You go in. There's a drawer. There's a oak dresser drawer there. Down the second drawer, you open up socks. Go to the back. Yes, that's right. Stuff like that. Or my favorite one of all time. What's your favorite reading? So many, but the one that really sticks out. And this goes in truth. What people say, if I go to a general mediumship, well, is it about me too, or is it every reading for every single person? And this story is an example. So one of my favorite evidential mediumship stories. I was in Maui, Hawaii, at the Maui Performing Arts Center, probably about 5 years ago. I would say maybe 4 years ago. And it was toward the end of the evening, and they were a very nice, receptive audience, very Maui wow. They were laid back and chill, which I had to get used to that, and it was fine. And at the very end, there was like toward the end of the night, there was a spirit girl. A blonde spirit girl, blonde hair, pigtails, jumping up and down on stage, about 3 or 4 years old. And she says, I want to talk to my mommy and daddy. She said, there's a girl here, blonde hair, pigtails. It's their birthday. She wants to talk to mommy and daddy, around 3 or 4, and they're here in the room. Suddenly, a couple in the very last row, put their hands up. And the man, was very buffed, very built. And the girl said, Daddy, I love the angel wings. Thank you, Daddy. So I said, angel wings you have for her tattoo, angel wings? And the guy said, it's her birthday today. So for her birthday, and he stands up, this muscle broad guy, pulls off his t-shirt, turns around, and his whole back are 2 angel wings from top to bottom. That was like, wow. And everybody was we were all just floored. I started crying. So it's for everyone, you see. But yes, to the answer to your question, yes. Thank you. Susie Goldman, how do you know if you would be a good medium? I'm a clairaudient. Practice, Susie. If you want to be a good medium, practice. Getting out of the head, into the heart, not caring what other people think of you, because what people think of you is none of your business. Barb Man, lots of mediums out there. Yeah, I guess, right? I went to Lilydale once, and I had some great mediumship readings years ago. And I played there about 4 years ago, I think. And the mediumship was just awful. It was hideous. And it really was bad. And there were people that didn't even know they were psychic. They were doing psychic readings, and they called it mediumship. And they'd say, there's a lady behind you, and she loves you. Grandmother's side of the family. Okay, next. I'm like, what is that? So you got to be careful in mediumship. You really have to. One thing I'll stand by is my integrity. I thought about this over the weekend too, and my friend said, one thing we've had all these years is integrity. I said, I have my integrity because, like everybody who passes over, I've been through so many hundreds of thousands of spirits who said to me, we all have a life review at the end of this lifetime, and we look at our lives, and there is no time. So things that in time, moments that happen, we look at those moments, not only from our perspective, but from the other person's perspective, how they received our energy, what we said, what we did, thoughts we had. And you have to try to forgive yourself for what you left behind, the good, bad, the indifferent. So if you're very angry at someone, you yelled at someone, and it wasn't resolved, you're going to have to feel what they felt when you yelled at them or did something bad 10 times, 20 times, 30 times stronger. And there is no God that goes, you go here, you go there. You judge yourself. Because remember, this is a school for the soul, the earth. And these are tests we're taking. See if you pass the test or not. And one of the hardest things I have found with the spirit people when they go over is forgiving themselves. I've had so many. My father would come through and say, why didn't I tell my daughter I loved her? Why didn't I tell my daughter I loved her? Her whole life she didn't feel loved, so she wouldn't trust herself. She wouldn't believe in herself. It could have changed her entire life. So you want to live a life where there are no should-haves, would-haves, or could-haves. No regrets. So when you do mediumship, you've got to do it the right way. You got to be responsible because you have people's lives in your hands. You have all these people's lives in your hands. And when you pass over, the first people who meet you are going to be the ones whose names you took in vain. Those spirits you said you brought through but didn't. So it's a responsibility. It's almost, I say many times, like a surgeon or a lawyer. And you have to develop and go through school for that art. Same with mediumship. It's an art. And you always have to be willing to learn, always. Because the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Take it from me. I'm always looking for different techniques, different ways in, different ways to be, how to surrender, always different. And that's why I work with different mediums too, to learn from them. Okay, thanks, Barb. Lisa Malafant, what if you are interested in this but have no psychic ability? Even when I meditate, I don't feel connected. Love you, by the way. Thank you. Lisa, that really sounds like it's totally from your head. You're a thinker. You overthink things. Try living in your heart for a little bit, and life will change, and you'll change. So before you do this course, do the Psychic Portals course or Psychic Certification course. Start that. That's good grounding work. Psychic work, intuitive work is a preliminary. You have to be a good psychic to be a good medium. Every medium is psychic. Not every psychic is a medium. So in psychic or intuitive work, you have to have a very strong foundation of the knowingness, we call it, of that psychic ability, knowing things. And you'll need that for your foundation for mediumship. One common error that many mediums, practicing mediums, don't know is when they're delivering a message to someone, an evidential message, let's say, Aunt Joanne is over here and she was 57 when she passed away, and she said, oh, you're looking for a new job, aren't you? You're looking for a new job, and it's going to be a lady who's going to help you, white hair, and she's going to help you get a job. That'll be in 2 weeks' time. That's psychic reading. Man, Joan, 56, died this way. That's mediumship. When you went down to talk about the work, that's psychic. And many mediums don't know when they fall down into the psychic because it feels comfortable for them. Working with mediumship, you have to hold yourself to a high frequency and sustain that frequency. So that's very difficult for many people. So that's why mediumship takes development. So Lisa, the first thing I do is really get under your belt your own intuitive self and feel confident with that. You don't want to jump into mediumship if you're not ready for it. You really don't. They wouldn't do it, be a service to you. Wouldn't. You want to do first the psychic, do the basic psychic course first. Better for you. You'll thank me, trust me. Okay. Do you feel you connect with certain energies and people better than others? Yes, very much, Krista, very much. I connect with, excuse me. Got a red ginger ale. I still drink that. I work much better with people that are open-minded. And I'm talking from a spirit point of view and also from the audience point of view. I work really well with people that are emotional and people that have a great sense of humor, people that don't take life so seriously. And I'm talking both sides now. I don't work well with people that are shy. I don't work well with spirits that don't speak well, that they're shy, and it's harder for me. So, when you bring a spirit in or work with an audience member, the more you're alike with them, the easier it would be. That's true of any medium. And psychic, by the way, if they're doing a psychic reading, they do really well if they're attuned to you, if they really are very similar to you. Okay. Say, okay, hi, James from Miami, Florida. Hello, sweetheart. Can you be a psychic and a medium at the same time? Every medium is a psychic. Not every psychic is a medium. The term psychic medium, I hate that term. Hate it. It's the worst thing ever. Because, hello, every medium should be a psychic. There's no psychic medium. They have to be psychic. So that term does not make sense. Yes. So let's get rid of that. And let's use a intelligent term, a developed term, which is medium. Spiritual medium, spiritual evidence medium. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ceci. Next. Right, Rochelle. Okay. I'm getting into energy healing. Good for you, sweetheart. A lot of people are starting to do that. I live in San Diego in Encinitas, and I went to a party 2 weeks ago. It was a birthday party in the backyard by the Oak Beach. And we had such a great time dancing and hanging out. And I found out later on they're all energy workers, all different types of energy workers. So it's a thing, and it's great to see. So good for you. Trying to hone my skill, feel, see, and hear spirit. What do you recommend? Sharpen my skills. Well, I was a massage therapist for 7 years before I started, and I would see energy and feel energy, and I'd go there in the body, and the person would say, "How do you know?" I said, "I see the energy's blocked." So the best you can do to attune yourself to your own intuitive self, your soul self. So the soul's language is intuition. So the more you are aware of your intuition and live from the inside out, the easier it's going to be, and the clearer your portals will be, your channels to bring through the healing energy and give it out. But also, you remember that you'll be more confident. So the energy you're going to be giving out is at a higher frequency as well. So work on yourself first as far as the intuitive stuff. The first course I just mentioned, the basic psychic one, course certification would be perfect for you. But Lisa Day Ford, I experienced a lot of deja vu. What kind of ability is this? Well, Lisa Day Ford, I used to think it was just one ability. Now I believe it's more than that. I thought it was just something a past life. I believe it's something different. So I believe deja vu is a label or term for experience that someone has where they feel like they've been to a place before, or they meet somebody, they feel like know them. It happened to me once, and there are different types of deja vu. So can it be a psychic thing that you pick up beforehand, cognitively, knowing, clear cognizance, and knowingness of it? Yes, you get somehow go there. Oh, I knew this, or it can be some maybe past lives, definitely without a doubt. Or here's one. I think it could also be this. Every night we go to sleep, we will leave our bodies. All of us leave our bodies every night we go to sleep. The soul will leave the physical vessel through the head chakra, out the crown. And sometimes you're just about to fall asleep and you shake or you feel like you're falling off a cliff. And that is because you're not leaving the correct axis of the alignment for your soul to leave. So you come right back. Then you'll go out. You're not conscious when you go out. But when you die, when you death, you're conscious. No pain. And on the other side, during your sleep, many of us go to see our guides, our teachers, go to school, prepare for an upcoming event that will be important in our lives. So many times I think a deja vu is like, wait a minute, I know this. I dreamt this, right? Because I think we're seeing that in the spirit, in the spirit world before it happens in the physical. So I think that's what that is, personally. And it could be past life too. So those two things. Anything else I'd like to hear? I don't know. Thank you. Debbie Meyer, when one has seen a few spirits as being a young child, yes, as I did, would this make them one more likely to develop a medium? Yes, could, yes and no, in that, Debbie, most children see spirit because they've just come from the spirit world. So their mindset is still open. They haven't been programmed by the adults yet. That happens around age 6 or 7. So they're still pretty open. A friend was telling me about her 2-year-old child, talking about a past life. I used to do painting, and she says, "You can do anything in this lifetime painting?" But no, I have other things to do. But I in between lives, we learn what we're going to do before we come back. So you can develop medium. If you did see spirits as a child, you could open that back up and develop and see if you want to be a medium. Sure. A couple of questions. I will do the exercise. Can we do mediumship 3 without doing 1 or 2? I was invited to take 3, but I've not done 1 or 2. No. I would strongly advise against it. Actually, I wouldn't take you in there, Sue, because I just can't. There's got to be a prerequisite because you have to have a basic understanding of how I teach, and that's really important. I did it once, and it was a mistake because you never know what people's backgrounds are, who they studied with. It's a different way of studying. So no, you'd have to take 1 and 2 before you 3. Monica and Grow, did you go to school, James, or all of your courses created through experiences? Oh, I have a degree in broadcasting. I have a BA. I was being a sitcom writer, so or a producer, and actually went to school, San Francisco State University. I have a degree in that. I want to go back and get my master's in psychology. What do you think? I thought about that last week. I might do that. Then my yoga teacher said, James, there's a lot of psychological, psychology degrees you can get. And I looked at it and said, I could probably write the whole program. So the courses are based upon my life experience as a medium for 40 years. And the courses are very, very varied, from transformational courses to life coach coursing, to healing courses, to intuitive courses, to mediumship, to one day in heaven, being aware of a spirit world. So all different, it varies. Okay. All right. Well, now I'd like for you guys, I'd like to give an exercise, a lesson from Mediumship 2 course. And I'm going to guide you through this. And if you've never meditated before, does not matter. I'm welcome. The only thing you'd have to do is just close your eyes. That's really it. So I'm going to guide you through the whole thing. Okay. So I'll just bring you to a space, and I will suggest certain things. And don't try so hard to see things. I'm just going to suggest a place, a room, perhaps, and I'll make suggestions. And you just have your experience. And I prefer that you don't try for the outcome. Just let spirit work with you as far as what the outcome will be, because you never know what they're going to say to you. So this is one of the exercises I do there. Okay. So wherever you are right now, just make yourself comfortable. Just closing your eyes really, really good. And as you close your eyes, just have a few deep breaths. We're going to inhale through our nose, taking that universal energy. And we're going to exhale through our mouth. And exhale with count to 4, bringing in 3 and out 4. So together, let's just use that beautiful energy of the universe. And maybe you'll see that in like white speckles of light just coming into your body with the inhalation. So inhale. And inhale all the way down now to your feet, the bottom of your feet. And exhale. And blow it out. Blow it out. Good. And now inhale all the way in that universal energy, all the way down to your feet. Inhale. And feel that universal energy touching every cell, muscle, fiber of your being. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And just now, using your own rhythm of breath, the inhalation and the exhalation. It's like the water, the tides of the water, in and out on your own rhythm. Just being aware that each new breath you receive, there's a newness, there's an awareness, there's an opening, there's luminosity. And as we continue with our rhythm of the breath, also be aware now, I take you to the awareness of the inside of the body, which now appears much lighter because of the inhalation of the universal energy. Every cell is illuminated, muscle and fiber. And we go to the heart space. And as if you could just go right in miniature you and go into your heart and send gratitude to your heart for pumping the cells throughout the body, feeding, nurturing all different organs of the body. And give gratitude. Thank the heart. And then all the organs of the body one at a time. Spleen, liver, stomach, kidneys. Just on your own. Your arms, your hands, your legs, your feet. For bringing you around. For mobilizing you in this world. Your head, your brains. All the different systems in your body. Send gratitude. And as I've said before, earlier today, imagine now that your soul is standing on top of your shoulders, because most of our soul energy is outside of the body, not in the body. So that 20-30% that's in the body, now imagine, use your imagination as you did as a child, that you're standing on top of your shoulders, reaching out with hands up towards the universe. Feel how wonderful that feels, how relaxing. Breathing in, breathing out. And as you reach your hands up, you suddenly find that you're projected higher and higher, softly, smoothly, toward this lovely light, this golden light. It looks like a star. But as you gently go closer and closer, it opens up to a space, to a lovely city, a golden city. And this city is very different than any cities we know here on earth. For this city is a space, a place for other souls to gather, to find out different aspects of themselves. There are different galleries and creative forums, places for discussions, meeting halls, and so forth. So right now, I'd like for you to go to your little space. Perhaps there is a house, a spirit house, or a room that you can create or is created for you that you feel attracted to. So create in your mind a room, a big room. And you can furnish that room any way that represents your soul. The colors represent your soul. any furniture, any wall hangings, all represent you, are in harmony with your soul self. And there are two chairs in the very middle of this room. There are two chairs facing each other. Walk into this room and look around. Be aware of the colors your soul has chosen. There may be books somewhere. You can see the titles of the books. Become aware of the space itself, the aesthetic space. There are pieces of furniture or paintings. How do they look? Where are they placed? And what I'd like you to do now is sit in that chair facing the other chair. And as you face that empty chair, I want your heart to ask for one spirit to come, a person that you knew that has passed into the spirit world. Only one, just one. Don't be nervous about it, just one. It might be a child or a partner or a friend, an animal. It could be anyone, just one your person or animal. Good. And as you look at the chair, I don't want you to have any preconceived ideas and notions about that person, that animal. See how they manifest themselves in that chair. They very slowly begin to materialize. You may see a vapor first, and this vapor builds up slowly and consistently. It builds up. I want you to be observant of how it builds up. Be aware of how the vapors shift, become an object, like a leg, and then a torso, perhaps, arms, a head. Being aware of that is where I want you to place your attention, how the manifestation is occurring. And as they develop, I want you to look and see that spirit. They are in a very different way than they were on earth. You see them in their spirit self, their soul self. They might be brighter. They might be prettier or handsome. They might have colors around them like you've never seen before. You may feel younger and vibrant. Feel the prana of that person, the animal, the prana, the universal light, and sit and listen to them. We get so caught up in our own stuff. Let them speak to you now. Listen. Let them speak to your heart. Good. Good. Always go with the first thought you hear. Otherwise, it'll be in your head. First thought. Good. And now I would like to ask you, and don't worry about you think you're making it up or not. Don't do that to yourself. Just have an experience, experiential experience. Ask them now, how do they spend their time in the spirit world? What do they do every day? What are their activities there? You become the reporter and you're interviewing them. Find out about their life, about their world. What do they want to share with you about their world? Perhaps something you never knew before. Go ahead. Amazing. Interesting. Never would have thought that before. Let them take you on a journey. Perhaps they can even show you in your mind visions of what their world looks like, spaces and places they go to. You can even ask them now, what was the reason that you two were brought together in this lifetime? What was the reason you two were brought together in this lifetime? And now they want to share their love, their soul love with you. And I just want you to relax and receive. Receive love from them. And perhaps you didn't have love on earth from them. You don't know them that way. This is a very different love. I want you to receive that now, from their heart to yours, from their soul to your soul. Divine Heavenly Parent, we have asked a blessing for everyone here today to open up their minds and their hearts, to use their soul self to get ahead, to make the right choices for them, to live individually and realize that they have the power within themselves to accomplish all the lessons they need to learn, and that they're forever surrounded by love. And so it is. And slowly become aware again of your breath. Slowly breathing in into the nostrils, into the body. Inhale, down to your feet, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Slowly coming back to the awareness of the body, moving your feet, perhaps your hands, your arms, and slowly let your eyes flitter open and become one. I hope you all had a great experience there. You should probably write them down now. After this is over, you should go write them down because you will forget probably a lot of it. So you should do that. And that's just that's in the course. I go really into it all in more intense, of course, but that's what it's like. It's wanted to give you that little lesson. So I hope you'll all join me for readings tonight. If you're interested in that, go to my vanprog.com to get tickets for that. I think it's 19, 20. I don't know how much it is, but I hope to see you tonight. And God bless you all. Okay. See you next week or tonight. Bye-bye.